episode of Breathe Deeply. So good to be with you again. And today I want to talk to you about your diet. Awkward silence. But what I'm talking about is your spiritual diet, our spiritual diet. Just quickly, there's this crazy, wild story in the Old Testament, recorded in the Pentateuch, about how God freed his people from the violent oppression of the Egyptian Pharaoh. And we know from the narrative there's incredible stories, incredible miracles that happen. And one I want to point out today is when he actually did free them, there they were wandering in the desert for many years. And one of the cool, most magnificent miracles that he pulled off was providing manna from heaven. So he gave them this bread or the sustenance from heaven. And at first it was pretty cool. In fact, he gave a few pointers. He says, first of all, only collect enough manna for every day. So no hoarding or no collecting for night snacks and all that. And if they did, it would rot. So there was this principle of going daily to collect and feed for your manna. And you would only collect 2 days worth when it came to the Sabbath. So he had this principle of don't collect too much. I want you to come and rely on me daily for your sustenance. And it was interesting because the manna couldn't be found under a rock or growing on top of a rock or the fruit of a tree, whatever it is. They had to wait for the provision. The Jehovah Jireh had to provide this daily sustenance for them to have life. So daily they had to rely on God their Father. Now, like any of us, after a while something like manna might become boring, and wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what happened. They quickly forgot the negative, so they somehow forgot the torturous conditions or the slavery that was happening, because all they could think of was, all the incredible heat from the food and the spices that we had back in Egypt. And pretty soon they forgot how bad it was in Egypt, and they forgot how good it was to come to the feet of the Father and be fed with manna. And I wonder sometimes if we kind of have the same thoughts toward God. I remember even a fantastic song by Keith Green. He was kind of lamenting with the Israelites, oh great, manna burgers, manna waffles, manna casserole. So pretty soon we get almost bored or tired of the same thing going to God, and sometimes we're attracted to bright shiny objects and we wonder what something new or something from our old life would provide for us. And I think just like the Israelites, we can sometimes struggle with that. In John chapter 6, Jesus says, I am the bread of life. I am the bread of life. So we're actually encouraged to actually go to him, to Jesus, who says, I am the bread of life, and he says, I am enough. I am all sufficient. I am enough. I am sufficient for you. That's an incredible statement that he's making there. I am enough. Now I can hear excuses because my heart's the same way, and we can make perhaps some excuses in this COVID situation. We could go, God, I'll trust you more, or I'll go feed on manna more if you would just take care of this COVID situation. Or if only you would get me a better job. Or if only you would fix my spouse. Or if only. But throughout Scripture, right from the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament of John, and even dipping into Revelation, he's calling us to this beautiful spread, this meal, and to come to him for our sustenance, realizing that he is all sufficient. So no matter what our circumstances are, no matter what our complaints are, no matter what our hurts are, he says, I am enough for you. Talk about a good spiritual diet. So me, along with folks I'm hanging out with, and I would encourage you to do the same. Let's not be distracted by everything that's going around, but actually let's press on hard. Let's press in deeply to who Jesus is and continue to go to him to feast on his manna that he says, I am the bread of life and I am enough for you. So this week, I want you to take that thought, that He is enough, that He is the bread of life, and He wants to give you life. And let's breathe deeply on that this week. God bless you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior is ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Disgrace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. My chains are gone, I've been set free. My God, my Savior has ransomed me. And like a flood, His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we know there's days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.